never done anything else.
One time you were a stripper though.
That was part of the radio gig. That was to keep the radio gig.
True.
So now you're at K-Twin Radio,
Right.
96.3.
Right.
You have a morning show with Eric Perkins.
Eric Perkins from Carol 11, yes.
Yes, so tell us the truth. What is it really like to work with Eric Perkins on the radio?
Well, I've always, before partnering with Eric, I've always been the host of the show. I've never had to partner with anybody before. Eric and I had been talking about working together for years. We would see each other around town and say, we should do something together. Now that we are doing a radio show, I never envisioned that I would be the normal one. I always envisioned someday I'm my partner with somebody, we'll see what happens. I'll probably be the crazy one, and they'll be the straight man to try to calm me down. Eric is not the straight man at all. He's a news guy on TV, but that Perk It Play character that you see every once in a while, that's him.
That is him.
Like, one of the good things about the show is we have a balance where he's the sports expert, and I'm kind of the pop culture and all the other stuff expert.
Okay.
And so when we do like an interview with like a sports figure, he's got the reins of that interview.
Got it.
But he's very easily distracted.
Really?
One time we were doing an interview about Jeremy Lin. Someone wrote a book about Jeremy Lin.
Insanity.
And the book was called Linspired or something like that. And so we're talking to this guy, and in the middle of Eric is talking to the guy. I'm just kind of sitting there. I don't know anything about the guy. I know he's, he's a basketball player. He's Asian. But I didn't know anything else. And so Eric all of a sudden saw something shiny in the other room while we're on the air.
Okay.
Walked out of the room.
What?
And left. No. So I'm there with this guy on the phone that I have no idea about Jeremy Lin. So I'm like, Jeremy's Asian, right? That's really all I knew because that was the big story.
You didn't even know what team he played for?
I was a Knicks. There you go. Great guess. All right. Yeah. So that's Eric. Eric is easily distractible. Great guy. Good family man. Just a real good guy.
But you always prepare for your guests. I heard you this morning. You were interviewing Elliot Spitzer.
Yeah.
And you had a couple of great questions about his show and what he was talking about. I think you even impressed the hell out of him, really.
Yeah, the best thing when you're interviewing someone is for them to come back and say, wow, great question. And then answer the question. And we did. Elliot Spitzer was a good guest. And man, that guy got a story, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, he was with that prostitute.
Yeah.
And he kept his socks on. You know that story, Missy. Yeah, he had his socks on during the whole ordeal.
All right, so great. That actually leads me to a question. You impressed me.
Am I wearing my socks yet?
You are. You good.
Knock them off.
I have a question for you, though. You impressed him today with your question. For somebody like me, who's really new into the whole interviewing process, what are 3 tips that you can give myself, and maybe my co-host will listen as well, that would be good to know for going into this process and interviewing guests each week?
Okay, I don't even know if I have 3 tips, but I do have a couple, probably.
Okay.
One, ask what people want to know. The easy thing to ask is, where'd you get your start? How do you like doing what you do?
Right.
And all that stuff. Ask what you really want to know. Like, if you've got me on, what have you always been curious about me?
Yeah.
You haven't been curious about where I started.
I don't know.
Who's worked with you for a while?
I want to know. You have to go gay to save the world. Who would you go gay with?
Oh, damn! Going gay!
You know he's
This is from my old radio show. We had a feature called, was it 5 Stupid Questions?
Yeah, 5 Stupid Questions.
And that was the number 1 question. If you had to go gay to save the world, who would you go gay with?
And
I had to answer. I don't remember what I answered. Who did I answer?
Well, who did you answer today?
I think I said Prince.
Prince?
Well,
who would you have to go?
Who would you answer?
Well, Matthew McConaughey, after the Magic Mike movie.
Listen.
Man, that guy is damn good looking. I mean, not that
you want a big buff guy your first time, or do you want a little Prince?
I never thought of it that way.
A little
I never thought of it that way.
So you put thought into it.
Right.
Yeah, you put way more thought into this.
Yes. I'm not picking that big buff dude. I'm picking Prince. I can handle Prince.
I have obviously thought this through.
When I'm done, I can put Prince away. What am I going to do with
that's tip number 2. Make sure you think about the questions you're going to ask, right?
Oh,
and that's another thing. Before you ask a question, think of all the possible answers.
Yeah, there's no questions now that are going to be any better than that. What else do you have?
There's left turns everywhere.
Yeah.
So you met your wife 13 years ago. I read on, I think it was Twitter, that you mentioned that it was a one-night stand that lasted for 13 years.
It was supposed to be.
How do you explain this to your wife? Because I could never get away with saying that.
I lived it. She was supposed to leave. I woke up the next day.
Did you know her name at the time?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
But I woke up the next morning and there were cats and dogs moved in, we had kids, and all of a sudden, mortgage payments and everything. I don't know how it happened. She's a wonderful woman, though.
She is. And now you tweet that you cannot go anywhere to any event without her.
No, she's my partner for sure. She's a good girl. I've never been too much of a going out kind of guy. She gets me out of the house.
Well, how did you meet her?
How did I meet her? Man. Probably, yeah. It was my thing. Was it CompuServe? Something like that. No, I mean, I think we're, I guess I knew friends of hers. We ran in the same circles and just kind of saw each other out.
All right.
She thought it was fun.
Good
All right.
you out of the house, though. What were you going to
Well, I want to know, because of your celebrity status,
Yeah.
when you go to the cities and go out with your lovely wife, do you have a hard time without people bothering you?
No. I got on. I am interested in being on the radio, and I love being on the radio because people know who I am and listen to the radio show, and I want that. If they did, it would bother me. I love the fact that people are friendly. When people come up and say hi, I love that.
Yeah.
When people tell me they listen to the radio show, it gives me a reason to wake up at 4 o'clock every morning,
Right.
I love that.
So is there anybody that you haven't interviewed yet that you'd like to interview?
Let's see. You know what? I've had conversations with Prince, but never on the air. I would love to talk to him on the air.
Okay. Well, Prince.
Prince?
And
Well,
you
There's definitely a love
My
one.
boyfriend. Well, actually, I moved to the Twin Cities because of Prince.
Are you serious?
I was up for 2 jobs at the same time, one in Seattle and one in the Twin Cities.
Okay.
If I would have liked Nirvana, I would have moved to Seattle. I moved here because I was a big Prince
That
fan.
would suck.
I had this fantasy of someday I'll be able to, I'll be Prince's boy. I'll be his DJ. I'll be hanging out with Prince.
Yeah.
And I came here, and it just never happened.
Have you been out to Paisley Park?
Yeah, oh no, I've had conversations with the guy. He's yelled at me before.
About what?
Get away from my window.
I was working for another radio station at the time,
Okay.
and Prince sent one of his people up with a note that said he wanted to see me at Paisley Park Studios.
Okay.
I'm getting called to the principal's office.
It was the
Way
craziest
better.
thing.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
all of a
right?
sudden, I start sweating because I'm a huge Prince fan from way back when I was a little boy. When I was young, I always I remember that First Avenue sign from the movie, and I always wanted to come to the Twin Cities.
Okay.
So he called me down, and he was doing a show with George Clinton, and Alicia Keys was down there. I mean, it was a big show at Paisley Park. I went down there by myself.
Okay.
I'm standing in there, and this guy comes up, this big 7-foot guy, and this is when he was the artist formerly known as.
Okay.
He taps me on the shoulder, and he goes, "P wants to see you in the back."
Really?
P, because everybody was afraid of what to call him. So I go to the back. I'm waiting there for 20 minutes in the back room in this little lobby area.
Just by yourself?
By myself. Freaking out.
I would too.
This is before texting, so I had no I'm like, you're not going to believe where I am. So George Clinton comes wandering by.
Just randomly.
Just
You didn't know he was there?
I knew he was going to be on stage. I didn't know he was going to be in this little lobby area. He looks a little intoxicated. He's kind of bumping into the wall. He goes, "How you doing, my brother?" Walks by me, keeps walking. A few minutes later, Prince comes out wearing full body lace from neck to ankle.
Wow.
Full body lace, one
Whatever it is.
thing.
Prince out there.
Whatever.
Yeah, what do you?
And proceeded to, he's very polite and introduced himself and everything, which is weird.
Yeah.
Duh, I know we don't. But proceeds to yell at me for all the problems of radio today.
Okay.
He says that the airwaves belong to the people. Why is Puffy all over my airwaves? He had a problem. He wanted, he thinks local music should be on local radio stations, and he should be able to come out with a song and send it to the radio station and it should air. And I said, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to air a song, you send it to me at the radio station and I'll air it.
It's kind of hard to argue with Prince
Yeah.
about whatever he has going on because he's
So
Prince,
we
right?
formed a little relationship where anytime he came out with a song, he would send it to me and I would debut it. Like I was the first person in the country to play it on the
Really?
radio.
That's,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And that lasted for a couple of years, and it was pretty awesome.
That is.
He actually, it was to the point where there was a song called "Rock and Roll Is Alive" and it lived in Minneapolis,
Okay.
and I played it on the radio.
Okay.
And Prince was so grateful that I played it on the radio that he made a Tony Fly remix of that song.
Really?
And sent it to me the next day.
Do you still have this?
I still have it
You
somewhere.
have- we have
you can
got to
actually you can search it on Google somewhere. I'm sure
We've
it's
got to
up
get
there
this
somewhere.
up on the icepack.com.
That would be
pretty
great.
We've got to get this up.
So that's I came here because I was a Prince fan. That's really what it all boils down to.
Very interesting. Well, before you go, I have to ask.
You leave?
You're just getting started, right? Well, you're allowed to act anytime. But
Okay.
before you go, I have to ask you about Danny Starr. You've been working with her a long time now.
One of my best friends in the world.
She's been on Bridezilla's, and
She'll tell you that that's not her. That's totally her. Yeah, that's her. Come on.
That's her. And what I think would be interesting to know is, what is it like really to work with somebody for that many years and learn about her that maybe the rest of the audience doesn't really see. In between the commercial breaks.
Danny's like family. And
Okay.
one thing about Danny on the radio and Danny off the radio, I don't see any difference. You know Danny really well. You see any difference? I mean, she's she's a genuine girl.
Okay.
I mean, her language.
She's a mom now.
Yeah.
Because you've been with her
She's
from
totally different now. I think
Really?
She switched up a lot after she had the baby. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think she's mom on the air too now. I mean, take a listen. She's mom on the air too now. She talks about her kid a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But how's that for you? Knowing her from the before she even
I love
dated
that.
Slim to dating Slim, and then
I think watching Danny grow up has been wonderful.
okay.
And she's a great girl. And I have nothing but respect for her. Off the air and on the air, the only difference I see is her language off the air is a little more colorful.
It's colorful.
Yeah.
So let her come on our show.
Yeah.
Internet based.
Oh, that's right. She would be perfect on this show.
Because being on the internet, there is no FCC. You can say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I still feel uncomfortable swearing. Yeah, I still feel a little uncomfortable. Because my kids have the internet. Hi, Antonio. Hi, Joel.
Well, we really appreciate you stopping by the Ice Band.
So since you have no commercial breaks,
Yes.
do I have to just uncomfortably kind of walk off this camera shot? Or?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
You got to stick around to the end of the show.
Oh, okay. When does the show end?
We're wrapping up.
Because I do wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
That is true, and we really do appreciate you stopping
I love
by.
the fact that you guys drink while you're on the air. I love that.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you, Sorella Wine.
Yeah, thank you, Sorella Wine and Spirits.
Thank
for
you,
stopping by.
Sorella Wines, and who's this? Grainbell. Thank you, Grainbell.
We're trying to promote all the local breweries and what have you in spirits.
I'm promoting them in my belly.
Well, for you folks at home, please remember to listen to 96.3 K-Twin Radio every morning.
96.3 every single morning between 6 and 10. Me, Eric Perkins, Danny Starr. It's a great show.
Maybe
I
we'll
love
get
it.
a little shout out tomorrow morning if we listen.
For sure.
Awesome.
For sure. Matter of fact, if you're watching right now, call tomorrow morning and we'll put you on the radio.
And
Perfect.
say
All
nice
right.
things.
651-989-K-Twin.
Perfect.
Unless you're Mod Son and you're mad that we didn't play your video.
And then we're going to have him on August 8th. But
He's
then,
a great guest, by the way. We had him on the radio
Really?
yesterday morning.
okay.
Great guest. Good local guy. What a story on that guy.
Yes.
No, no label, no representation, no agent, nothing. And he gets on the Warped Tour. How cool is that?
We are looking
We're really
so
excited to
forward
have
to
him
him.
come on.
And his little sister Danielle is hot.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. I've met her a few times.
Great girl.
Fantastic. Part of the Blonde Mafia, the Blonde Tribe
Right.
on Twitter. So, Danielle, Melissa. As always, you can keep the conversation going on Twitter, #TheIcePack. Also, we look forward to hearing from you, and if you see anything happening in and around the Twin Cities, we want to know about it. We want to let everybody else know about
Anything
it.
like crimes and stuff?
Crimes,
Crime Stoppers?
Celebrities,
All
yeah.
We're going to have to make the show a little bit longer for sure.
right, well, yeah. If you see a crime going down right now, report it right here.
Right here, #TheIcePack. We'll get it out there, let everybody know about it, of course. Well, we appreciate everybody watching, and we wish everybody a great rest of the week. And so to John, Greg, and JD.
Real quick though, before we go, she mentioned we're going to have you next week. I think
Yes.
it's kind of exciting.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Kristen Schultz.
Josh.
Kristen Schultz. He made Bikes Over Baghdad.
Oh, he's another great
Yeah,
guy.
he's
He
great.
is.
Have you heard about this new movie? He's
We
launching
talked to him also, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but it was
Great guy.
fantastic.
at
Yes,
Sundance Art Film Festival.
And also Alejandro.
Yes, I'm personally excited about this.
Alejandro from The Bachelorette.
Alessandro.
Alessandro from the Bachelorette. Come on.
Together,
I'm
right?
sorry, man, but he's going to be on the show.
Yes.
And you guys can tweet him questions at
Hey.
Alessandro.
Can I ask you guys a question?
All right. Well, we got to wrap it up.
I'm thinking that I want to sit next to you.
We appreciate you guys all for watching us. Stay tuned for more. Next week sounds like it's going to be a great show. And thanks for Tony Fly stopping by.
Thank you guys for having me.
Have a great week.
Thanks for the beer.
Yes.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
there we go.
Salute. Show's over now. We can go.
Let's go.